Hi there, the name's Nico, and today I'll be explaining you the basics to loot distribution. If you have watched any of my more recent character guide videos, which I recommend you do, you would have heard the word loot distribution from me a few times. If you want to take your gameplay to the next level, you have to learn loot distribution. So what is loot distribution? As the phrase says, it is how loot is distributed in a zone. If you do not know, the number of a particular item in a zone is fixed each game. As an example, there are 11 hats in Pond every game. These hats will follow a pseudo-random distribution in a zone. Almost a year ago, loot used to be completely random in a zone, so you could have all 11 hats in Pond on one side of the map. Now the game applies a pseudo-random distribution of items or loot, so you can pretty much guaranteed when you'll leave a zone. In each zone there are 5 mini-zones where these items will be distributed. In each mini-zone, you will find one particular item for every 5 items there are in that zone. As an example, for Pond, you will find one box in each mini-zone or loot set since there are 9 boxes in Pond. 9 divided by 5 is 1.8, but remove the decimal since you can't have 0.8 of an item, and you get 1. You'll find 2 hats per mini-zone in Pond since there are 11 hats in Pond. 11 divided by 5 is 2.2, remove the decimal and you get 2. You also find 3 gemstones per mini-zone in Pond since 16 divided by 5 is 3.2, remove decimal and you get 3. If there are less than 5 items in a zone, which only happens for weapons with low use rates such as whips or sniper rifles, that item will not be guaranteed in any mini-zone. Instead, it can be found anywhere in that zone. So if you need to build a transition item with one of these rare items, make sure to look in advance because it can be in the first box you check or the last box. So where are these mini-zones located? People in the community made a map showing all these mini-zones, but Nimble Neuron posted one in their latest patch notes. Here's the image on screen. I'll also link it in the description so you can check it out yourself. And if you like this video, please give it a like so it can spread to more people. The next thing you may be thinking is, how many zones do I need to memorize the loot distribution for? I would say in order to get your build online faster, you should memorize your whole route, but at a minimum the first 2 zones. Loot sets are generally untouched in the first 2 zones unless your second route was highly contested, so getting what you need from them if you know the loot distribution of that zone will allow you to get your build online faster. For myself, I know the majority, if not all, of the loot sets, but I have played the game with loot sets in mind for hundreds of hours. Most of them are pretty obvious once you look at the map or even think about loot sets, and with the most recent update, many of them are even more obvious than they used to be. And if you want to know what you will find guaranteed in each mini-zone, I got you covered with some infographics that I made, which will be linked in the description. I'll just go through them on screen now. Feel free to pause the video for your particular build requirements. Cue the montage. I hope this information will help you take your looting to the next level. Half this game is about loot speed, so knowing loot distribution is crucial for success. If you like Eternal Return as much as I do, consider subscribing. I hope to see you at the next video.